Welcome to the next conference, the Transition 2024.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Alright then, let's get started.
Hi everyone. Good morning everyone. How many excited people do we have in the house this morning? Hallelujah. Welcome on board to the next conference 2024. I'm super excited about the 2024 edition of the next conference. Come on, show your excitement if you are super excited this morning. All right. And this morning we are going to have a whole load of amazing and seasoned speakers, and they're going to be giving you knowledge that you probably never ever heard before. I need you to position for this. I need you to be excited about this. I need you to be super ready. I'm going to give you a few tips on how to prepare for this conference this morning, how to position for the conference this morning. I see a lot of people, I see your comments. Good morning. All right. But before I give you these tips this morning, all right, I want you to state your name and also state where you are watching this conference this morning, all right? Or I can see your name already. Just state where you are watching from this morning. If you're watching from the United Kingdom, if you're watching from Cameroon, if you're watching from Senegal, if you're watching from Lagos, Nigeria, if you're watching from Osun State, from Ogun State, just show where you're watching from this morning and post it with a lot of excitement, and let's keep it coming. All right. And while we are doing that, all right, I'm gonna give you those tips how to position to receive this money. All right. The number one tip that you need to keep in mind is that you need to get your writing materials. All right. Get your pen, get your notepad, get your writing materials. Number two, ensure that you avoid any form of distractions. If I were you, I will lock my door. I'll get into my room. I'll lock my door and ensure that nobody disturbs me. Another extra thing that you can also do, get earpiece or AirPods and ensure that you are fully plugged in. All right. And if you know that you are going to be experiencing a few network issues, all right, ensure that you position yourself where you're not going to have any form of disturbance too as well. All right. And if you're going to be able to do that, trust me, you're fully ready, you're fully prepared, you're fully, positioned for this conference. How many of you got the three tips? How many of you got the three tips? All right, just comment, got it. If you got it, just comment, got it. I'm just so excited about this conference. Though the speakers are going to be giving you so much knowledge, like I said before, and you should position to receive. You should be ready. I remember when I attended a conference like this, and my life changed. All right, and you're going to be hearing a lot of people to mention their testimonies. They're going to be sharing how their lives have changed, how their experiences shape them to become better person. And the next testimony that you're going to be hearing to will be yours, because you're definitely going to be transformed. Definitely going to be changed. You're definitely going to be a new man after this conference. All right. But all you have to do is to ensure that you pay attention, you listen, all right, and give it 100%, because the speakers are going to be giving it 200% this morning. Are you ready for the next conference? If you have not posted it on your status, if you have not invited your friends, you have not gotten people to show up, then you are not ready. So ensure that you post on your status. Ensure that you tell everybody about this. Ensure that you are super excited, even your smaller groups. Ensure that you are telling your body, come on, it's time. It's time for the next conference, and you need to be here right now. The party has already started. All right, post it everywhere. The party has already started, and you need to be in the largest gathering of graduates and young couples all around the world. All right. Happy New Month, everyone. And if you're in Nigeria, I wish you a happy Independence Day. Now, before we get started with the speakers this morning, I'd like to introduce you to the community that organized this conference. This conference has been put together by the next community, by the next movement, the next network, right? And we are going to be playing this short video that's going to tell you everything that you need to know about this next movement. The next video that you're going to be watching is the video for the next movement. Stay tuned.
You're done with school. Now what? There's been no other season of your life where your decisions are more critical than now. In a world where young people are desperately looking for direction. A world where everyone is in a maze on the way to nowhere. Where it seems you're moving but round and round in circles. It's a continuous surge of adrenaline with pulses racing, hearts turning, and palms sweating. In the midst of the noise, a voice of hope beckons. The Next Network. A community of young, vibrant people, fresh out of school or in their service year, who have signed up for growth, accountability, and mentoring. It is time to navigate the season of your life with ease. Find yourself and your God-given purpose. Be discovered, developed, and deployed. Become a better you and be empowered to stand out right. The Next Network features a one-year internship season set to give you a 360-degree transformation to help you get started right in life. Featuring spiritual growth, financial intelligence training, career development, business and entrepreneurship training. Are you ready for growth? Sign up now. Simply click on the link attached to this video. bit.ly/the Next Network. Be a part of the Next Kingdom initiative.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, this is the Next Conference 2024. And today we are going to be having four amazing speakers speak to us about relationship, about purpose, speak to about a career, how to dive into career, speak to us about how to create your economy. And it's going to be a loaded session. All right. You see, what really matters is today is how you receive. It's not a question of whether the speakers are ready, because the speakers are very, very ready for you. It's a question of how much you are ready to receive. And I already gave a number of tips. I gave 3 tips, all right? Ensure that you are ready, ready, ready. And this morning, we are going to be having the first speaker of the next conference. Oh my God, we are the drum rolls, we are the trumpets, we are the sounds. Oh my. And this first session is going to blow your mind. The speaker for this session is an author. She's a life coach. She she's a coach B. She's a teacher. She's an empowerer. You need to hear her speak. Every time I listen to her, my heart is always burning. My heart burns within me because of the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, the depth of knowledge that she has. Man. I see the words I'm speaking right now cannot even describe, cannot even give you a quarter of what I'm trying to describe right now. Someone says president of purpose affairs. That's who she is. All right, destiny catalyst, a raiser of men, an empowerer. All right, and with so much joy and excitement in your heart. If you are not excited, I'm not going to bring her up. All right, because this is a woman that is going to bless your life this morning. All right, with so much joy, with so much excitement. I'd like you to welcome the speaker, the first speaker of the next conference 2024. Some of you met her at the meet and greet, and some of you are going to be meeting her for the first time, and you are definitely going to agree with me at the end of the session that words could not even really describe how much she blessed your life. All right. So with so much joy, can we please welcome on board the speaker of this session and the host, the visionary of the next movement? Oh, what a pleasure it is for me to bring up is no other person than Dr. Arifalo. Please welcome Reverend Dr. Arifalo as she comes up to take the first session of the next conference 2024.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Thank you so much. Okay, can you see me? Hi, everyone. I am super excited. We have prayed for this. We have waited for this. And here we are live at the next conference, The Transition. And I'm really excited being here. Thank you so much, JT, for that great and generous welcome that you brought me on. Thank you so much. All right. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? It looks like I'm a bit stuck. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Oh, okay. Let's just move on, okay? Let's just move on and let's just move on. Okay, please let me know if you can see me. Can you see me? Am I stuck? Okay, you can see me. Now, am I stuck? Am I stuck or can you see me clearly? What does yes mean? Can you see me clearly or am I stuck? Please, can I get a feedback from the admin? Okay, please, can I get feedback from the admin? All right, so let's just move on. Let's just move on. All right, so I'll be speaking very, okay, I'm stuck, right? Thank you. Please, can I get a word from the admin, please? All right, but we'll just move on and, we just move on anyway. Wow. Okay, I think we are on now. I think we're back on now. Please let me know if you can see me. Okay, hi everyone. Super excited to be here. I'm so sorry for the technical, up and down, but I'm here right now. And today I'm going to be speaking on what I call living a purpose driven life. And I believe this is one topic that is so important for young people that are just starting out on their journeys in life. Living a purpose driven life. Please let me know if you can hear me. Thank you so much, Edified. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me right now. All right. So living a purpose driven life. And this is so important if we're going to be able to make something big out of our lives. Out of our lives. Okay. So the first thing I want to say is that everyone wants to succeed. Isn't that right? Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone wants to be great. Everyone wants to do something amazing with their lives. Unfortunately, you see, we all start out in life with a foggy idea of the kind of life and maybe even the impact that we desire to make. The big question is this: how do we achieve it? How do we live our lives? How do we live the life that we envision or that we desire? How do we navigate from where we are to where we want to be? And this is a very big question. And I believe that this is where most young people are. You're just coming out of school, or maybe you've been out of school for 2, 3, 4 years, and you still haven't got a grasp of what life is all about. I hear lots of young people say things like, the real life, the outside world is fake, or is, what do you guys call it now? But I want you to know that as a young person, you can be purposeful. As a young person, you can start your life and live your life to your fullness. As a young person, you don't need to go round and round and round in circles of confusion, of depression, of not knowing who you are, where you're going, and what you want to do with your life. You don't have to just go with the flow. You can be sure of what you want to do and make impact like you can't even begin to imagine. Now I want to talk about identity crisis, because this is very important. Identity crisis is one of the biggest problems that young people face. Lack of purpose, lack of vision, lack of direction. That also leads to a lack of drive and passion. And what really is identity crisis, right? Imagine going into a city that you've never been in before. Just imagine it for a moment. Imagine being in a city you've never been in. Imagine trying to find a white and gray house, with no address, no map, no description. How long do you think it's going to take you to find that house? Let me hear from you. How long do you think it's going to take you to find that building? A white building, a white and gray building, no address, in a city you've never been in, no map, no address, nothing. How long do you think it's going to take you to find it? Probably never, if ever. It's going to take you like forever, if ever, right? If it's ever going to be. Why? And this is exactly where most people are, right? Living an undefined life, living by other people's standards and definition of success, living in fear, confusion, uncertainty, right? Just going round and round in circles, right? And so this is the big question. This is how life is for people that have not discovered their purpose, because your purpose is hidden in your identity. This is the secret to living a life of purpose, of focus, of vision, a life of direction. Will you ever get there? This is the question that this short exhortation is going to be about. Will you ever get there? Let's examine what we call an identity crisis again. You know, identity crisis can be defined as a period of uncertainty, confusion, or conflict about one's sense of self and, one's sense of self, right? It often occurs when a person questions their values, their beliefs, or their life choices, leading them to feel insecure about who they truly are and about what their purpose really is. And this crisis is triggered by major life changes and challenges. Sometimes, you're just coming out of school. That's a trigger. That's a trigger of identity crisis. What do I do now? Where do I go now? What is next, right? It could be internal struggle, right? To understand what our roles are in this life and what our places are in this world. Essentially, an identity crisis is a struggle to establish a clear, stable, authentic understanding of yourself, without which life becomes a long, unclear journey of confusion that leads to depression and ultimately failure. You can't be negative and at the same time achieve success, right? You got to take charge of your inner life, and that's where purpose is, at the foundation, at the base of your human existence, right? And I have a quote here, my quote. It says, the first step to success and greatness is to discover who you truly are. That is to find your true identity, find your purpose and your impact, and be loyal to that true self, to your authentic self, right? If you're going to live an audacious life, if you're going to live a life of impact, if you're going to be great, if you're going to fulfill your mandate on this earth, listen to me, you've got to find you. And finding you is finding God's purpose for your life and finding your identity in the midst of that purpose. All right? So finding your identity will require three things. Three things I'm going to share with you. Finding your identity would require three things. Number one, discover God's purpose for your life. Your purpose is the reason you were born, is the reason for your existence, is the reason you were chosen, you were selected, you were appointed. Out of 60 million spermatozoa, you were chosen. That makes you unique. That makes you special. That makes you amazing. And this is the essence of your life's existence. You've got to find it to find greatness. Neglect it, and you keep going round and round and round and round in circles, going around the earth like a fugitive, always moving, always acquiring, but never truly getting there, never finding fulfillment in life. You're like a square peg in a round hole, always on the journey going somewhere, but never really arriving all through life. Can you imagine a life? You grow old and all there is to your life is just cars and houses and, whatever, and positions, and yet you never discover the reason you were born. That is such a sorry life, right? That is such a sad, depressive life, all right? It's a life of frustration. God has a purpose for your life. God has a plan, right, to achieve that purpose. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, and I read from the Amplified Classic. The word of God is the foundation of greatness. The word of God is the foundation of any kind of success. If you're going to succeed in life, then you've got to get the values and the core principles that guide your life from the word of God. It says, Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, it says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew and approved of you as my chosen instrument. And before you were born, I separated and set you apart, consecrating you, and I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. This is amazing. This is saying that you just didn't show up. You were sent by God. You were sent for a divine assignment. You were sent to the earth for such a time as this. The same Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. I would say Jeremiah was a man of purpose, isn't he? It said, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. So you have a future in God. You have a hope in God. There's a plan that God has for your life. There's a purpose that God has for your life. There's a mandate that God has called you to. There's a mission and an assignment. And I want you to wake up to these things. Let there be an awakening in your heart towards God's purpose for your life. In this woke generation, let there be an awake generation that will rise up, take their place, and shine the light of God in a broken world and a warped generation. Number 2, get on a growth journey. One thing is to discover God's purpose for your life, right? The second thing is to grow into that person. The second thing is to get on a growth journey. All right, get on a growth journey. God gave to every one of us. He gave us only 2 gifts, 2 and only 2 gifts. God didn't give you money. God didn't give you an education. God didn't give you friends. God didn't give you a marital partner or a great marriage in future. God didn't give you a career. God didn't give you a business. What did God give you? God gave you only 2 things. And those 2 things are profound, simple, but profound. If you understand this, you will get on that journey of purpose discovery and of developing and deploying the potentials that God has placed within you. Those 2 things are what? Potential and time. Potential and time. Potential and time. What you do with your potential in the space of time will determine what you become. We just don't become. We grow into becoming. Stop dreaming and start growing today, right? Potential is who you are that you have not yet become. It is what you have that you have not yet harnessed. It's what you can do that you have not yet done, but it's right here within you. Imagine for a second a seed buried in the soil. The seed doesn't know exactly what it's going to become. It doesn't see the tree. It doesn't see the fruit that it could bear. But deep within, the seed holds everything that it needs to grow, right? The journey to grow is pretty much like the seed's journey. It starts by recognizing what lies deep within you, your potential, and then striving and growing toward it despite the obstacles that stand against you, trusting that the essence of the seed will guide it into becoming a mighty tree. Within a seed is the potential of a tree. Within a tree is the potential of a forest. And within that forest is the potential of a whole city, right? It's up to you to invest the initial seed in an intentional process of growth, or remain a seed on the table when you could have become a mighty city. When you could have become a great city. In that same way, growth is about looking within yourself to understand your unique potential, your God resources, your potentials, and your gifts, and submitting to the nurturing of that seed so that that seed can bloom into your authentic self. This is powerful. 2 Chronicles 27 verse 6 says, so Jotham became mighty. How? Because he prepared his ways before the Lord his God. Because Jotham became intentional. I love the Jewish culture. And I'm going to teach you all of this as you step into the boot camp that is starting just right after this conference. And if you're here, you are blessed. If you made it to the conference, I say congratulations. Why? Because number one, you have access to my blockbuster little book that talks about what the 1% of people do not know, answering the 7 critical questions of life. For a young person, those questions mean everything. Identity question. What do you have? Potential question. What can you do? Possibility question. Where are you going? Vision question. Who are you going with? Relationship question. What do you need? Tools and skills questions. And when do you want to get there? Time and goal setting, right? And these, if you can't answer these questions, guys, you haven't started living. You haven't discovered, you're not living a life of purpose. When you are able to answer these critical questions, I can assure you, you're well on your way to greatness. And these are the questions I want to answer for you at the boot camp. It's going to be great. And if you're here, you have access to the book, and you also have great access to the boot camp. So don't forget, get on board, register for it, register for it, register for it. So the Jewish culture. It is said when a Jewish child is born. How many people know that the Jewish people are incredible? They are wealthy. They are kind of purposeful. You know, a whole lot is going on for them, right? A whole lot. Every rich person is kind of the richest people in the world are kind of somehow linked to that race somehow, right? So number one, we say when a Jewish child is born, between the ages of 0 and 10, the Jewish child is exposed to religious training, right? What we can call the word of God, spirituality, which is the core and the foundation of greatness, right? So they put the DNA of the values of God into them. When the child is 10, between 10 and 20, the child is the age of learning. When the child learns all kinds of things, trades and stuff, the age of 21 is the age of accountability and decision making. And may I submit to you that most of you are around this age right now, right? Most of you are around this stage right now. The stage of learning, the stage of accountability, where now if you commit a crime, you will be locked up. You will be taken as an adult. And this adulthood introduces you into a world of decision making. And the power of decision is so great that, you see, when you make a right decision, it will lead you in the right way. When you make a wrong decision, it will also lead you in the wrong direction, right? And that's why we are interested in helping you to become, in helping you to navigate, in helping you to transit from a person on campus in a cocoon to releasing you into the big oceans. But we want to guide you. We want to help you. We want to mentor you, right? And the age of between 21 and 29, we call it the age of mastery, right? That's when you master your skill, your trade, your vision, your purpose. You work on your purpose. 2 Chronicles 27 verse 6. Right? So you work on all of those things. And then the age of 30 is the age of dominion. There's something about the age of 30. You know, you join the boot camp. I want to give you a vision 30 goal. It doesn't mean you might be 21, 20, 21, 25. I want to give you a 30-year mandate, a 20-year goal. And I want to help you to plan and chart and transit and navigate from where you are to how you can reach dominion at the age of 30. The age of 30 is the age of dominion. Joseph became prime minister at 30. David became king at 30. Jesus started his ministry at 30. They all stepped into the center stage of their calling in life at the age of 30. At the age of 30, who will you be? At the age of 30, where will you be? At the age of 30, what will you be doing? What impact will you be making? It's really up to you. If you can follow the rules of growth, which is training, training, training. Somebody type training, 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 training. The law, the rules of growth. Training, 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 mentorship, community. Anyone can determine their final outcome right from where they are. And the last but not the least is mentorship and community. There are no great men, there are only mightily helped men. No man is an island. We all are products of someone that has influenced us, or of a community, or of a company. If you want to go fast, it is said, go alone. But if you want to go far and last and build to last, then you got to go with others. You must be willing to extend your hand to another to help you become all you can be. No man can raise himself. We all need mentorship. We need training. Listen, school cannot train you for destiny. School cannot position you for destiny. The real skills that you need in life, school can't give it to you. And that's why you need a kind of training that can position you to fulfill your mandate. Are you with me? If you don't know what to do or how to go, when are you ever going to get there? If you don't know, or I want you to know something. We don't have all the time to figure everything out. We don't have all the time. You realize some people are in their 50s, they're still trying to figure things out. What could have taken you 10, 20, 30 years can take you just 1 year, 2 years, just with the right community and the right training. Exposure to mentorship will shorten your journey in life and help you to make wholesome decisions that will lead you to greatness and to the destiny that God has in store for you. Are you with me? Without a compass, you will keep going round and round in circles, stuck in the maze of life. You'll keep oscillating like a barber's chair, motion without real progress. You don't want that to happen to you. Your company determines your potential. Your community determines your potential. If you're going to be all that God created you to be, to fulfill your mandate on this earth, then you need mentorship and you need a community that can train you for true success in life, train you to fulfill your God-ordained purpose and to stand tall in the center of it. When I was 30, when I was 21, 23, I decided I wanted to do something with my life at the age of 30. I wanted to be in ministry and I wanted to impact my generation. I tell you, when I was 30, I was standing in the center of God's plans for my life. And success is when you find yourself in the center of what God has called you to do. And I've been successful since the age of 30, and I'm still successful. And I want to take you by the hand and with this great community and lead you into destiny, lead you into greatness in fulfilling God's purpose, into financial greatness, into emotional greatness, into social greatness, into physical greatness, into mental greatness, and most of all, into spiritual greatness, where you discover God's purpose and you are empowered and equipped to stand tall in the center of it. You don't need to wonder anymore. You have a place in God's purpose. You have a place in God's plan. No one can ever fulfill it. There's no competition for a man of destiny because nobody has your same assignment and your same DNA and your same mandate. Everybody has a mandate. And so today I want to say, you join the transition boot camp to help you answer the critical questions of life, and to help you discover, develop, and deploy your potentials. We are offering you mentorship and training. Guess what? For free. I'm telling you, this would have cost you hundreds of thousands. But for 1 week, I and all my amazing speakers are coming together to answer your questions, to put you in a boot camp that will change your life and position you and help you navigate, help you transit from where you are to the next place that you need to be. We want to help you navigate uncharted waters so you don't have to grope and go about in the dark trying to figure things out. Why figure it out when there are mentors that have gone ahead of you that can hold you by the hand and switch the light on for you? So I'm giving just about 100 people this great and rare opportunity to be mentored by me and the amazing speakers you're going to be hearing from now. When you get that, when you find such an opportunity, don't slack. All right, latch onto it. Take it up. We want to pour our hearts into you. We want to pour our lives into you. We want to pour experiences into you. I want to pour my 30 years plus experience into your life, right? So that you can stand on the shoulders of giants that have gone ahead of you as you navigate life as a responsible adult. So sign up today and get my exclusive book, Answering Life's Critical Questions. Have you been blessed today? Have you learned something today? I look forward to seeing you on the other side. So much to say, so little time. I look forward to having time with you, getting to know you personally, and getting to walk with you into your destiny. Thank you so much. And I pray that, throughout the sessions that you're going to hear today, there's going to be an awakening in your heart. There's going to be an awakening in your spirit. There's going to be a change inside of you that you have never experienced before. There's going to be an impartation of God's grace, of God's power, of God's wisdom in your lives in the name of Jesus. I love you guys, and I'm rooting for you. I'm waiting on the other side for you to come in, and let's do this live together. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you on the other side. Mwah!
All right, thank you so much, Reverend Dr. Arifalo, for that amazing, amazing session. I don't know if you feel that you have gotten a whole lot, even despite the fact that she has not given you the full meal, but I've gotten a little lot. She mentioned the importance of training, training. It's very, very important. The difference between where you are right now and where you want to be is training. Come on, please celebrate. Let's appreciate, Reverend Doctor. We call her RD. All right. And for that amazing session, thank you so much, guys. I told you guys. I told you guys. Now, if you want to get a whole lot more, register for the boot camp. My. It's gonna be loaded. 6 days. 6 days. That's like 1 week of transformation, 1 week of intensity. Nobody has to convince you. You have to convince yourself. Make that decision right now. We click on the link and register right now. Now we are going to be hearing some amazing testimonies. They said that the greatest testimonies are not the testimonies of money, of cars, of houses, of things, of material things, but the greatest testimonies are testimonies of changed lives. Because when you change your life, all those things will naturally come. And these people have experienced a lot of growth in the past 1 year, 2 years when they joined the community. And I'm going to be bringing them on board this morning so that you'll be able to hear about the experience, what, how they were before they joined the community, how they came across the community, what happened when they came across the community, and what they are looking forward to. Now, please join me to welcome the first person that will be taking the testimony for today is um Kemi Omoleye. Please can we welcome Kemi Omoleye? Are you ready for your testimony this morning? All right, she's ready. All right, please go ahead.
Yes,
In
good
just
morning.
one
Good
minute,
morning,
your
everyone.
testimony. Please go straight to the point.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So before I joined this community, I was always testing the character of God. I'm like, God, if you are God, let it rain today. If you are God, let the sun shine by 1 p.m. I always thought that God was this hard father who would beat me and tear me up if I do anything wrong. I didn't really know God. I could not even pray, as in I couldn't pray. I couldn't study God's word. That's what I couldn't study God's word. I couldn't pray. I couldn't do anything. I would pray for 10 minutes and I would feel like I've done 1 hour. I couldn't pray. But then one day, one of my friends sent the community link to me. So I joined in. I joined the community and I've been trained and I'm still going through training and it has been amazing. I can pray now for long hours. Sometimes I hear myself pray and asking that, Kemi,
Mhm.
is that really you praying? I can pray for long hours. I can study God's word. God's word is so easy
Good
to
one. Don't
comprehend. And
fail.
and
Don't
I'm
fail.
grateful for the gift
I'm
of
on.
our pastor and our teacher who breaks down God's word to us. So it is so easy to comprehend God's word now. I can also preach the gospel unashamedly. If I see you, I'll drag you outside. Let me preach the gospel to you because I've been trained, and I can also raise men. I disciple a young community of students on campus as well, and I look forward to so much growth and depth in the knowledge of God. I look forward to raising more men, discipling men, planting churches, and also remain at the center of God's will for my life. And if you can hear me today, here's my charge to you. You've been created for more. You've been called for more, and you must not settle for less. There is so much potential in you about to be released and unleashed as you go through this training. Your purpose is rooted in God, and the world is waiting for you, and God is depending on you. God bless you.
Good morning, everyone. All right, so my name is Joy Malik, and before I joined the community, I was struggling with a couple of things like depression, panic attacks, and anxiety. So after joining the community, I encountered spiritual growth. For those of us that don't know what spiritual growth is, it's basically a mind renewal, right? So I started growing spiritually. I started engaging my mind on the right diet, right? Identity revealing diet. So there's a scripture I'd just like to share that says, for physical training is of some value that's useful for little, but of godliness, that spiritual training is useful and value in everything and in every way, right? So basically, growing up spiritually was enabled me to navigate my life very clearly, right? Breaking out of depression, breaking out of anxiety, breaking out of panic attacks, just help me see more clearly and help me, express myself better because I had so many identity issues. I couldn't express myself very well. I'll be very, very conscious of my surrounding, of things I said. But being in the right community and being in the right place just helped me discover myself, helped me maximize my potential, and help me express myself to the fullest level. So I would say that me after joining the community is a person who has renewed her mind to a certain level whereby I don't have to deal with depression anymore, and I don't have to deal with anxiety anymore. I don't have to deal with panic attacks anymore. So that's it. Right.
Hi, everyone. It looks like our host is having a little bit of technical issues. So I'm going to bring up the next amazing speaker right now. Are you ready for this? She's coming up to talk about relationship. Remember, I said the first thing is to discover your purpose, and then every other thing that you're going to do must come from that centerpiece, the purpose of God for your life. Listen, are you ready for the next level? Okay, would you put your hands together and let us celebrate, celebrate, celebrate none other than Pastor Ayomide Olofinjano. She is a medical doctor. She is a leader par excellence. And I believe she's also a relationship coach. And she's right here to bring you just a short advice that will change your relationship life. You're welcome, Pastor Aya. Over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Are you excited or what? Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me? Good morning. I just believe that we'll be able to do this within the confines of time, given the network issues. We're so sorry for all the itches and all of that. All right. Good morning to you if you're in Nigeria or in Africa, and good day or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Can you see and hear me clearly? Good morning. I can see you, Victor. I can see you, everyone. Oh, it's so good to be here. I'm so excited. Thank you, ma'am, for the introduction. I want to thank Reverend Dotun Arifalo and the organizers of the transition for having me here today. And you guys are about to have a great time. Probably you're going to hear something you've never heard before in your entire life where it concerns relationship and empowerment and finances. You're going to have a great time. So I wanted to tell your neighbor, or put it on your status, put it everywhere so that people can be part of what is going on here. I wanted to know that this is perhaps one of the most delicate seasons of your life. If you're a young person, I love what Reverend D said when she came earlier, saying that you are at that age of accountability right now. Some of you are there right now. Some of you are past that age. And you need to realize that it's time to make decisions. Come on, type it out in the chat. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Decisions, decisions. You are at the crossroad where you need to make decisions. And that's why we're having this program for you. We want to help you make the right decisions where it concerns your purpose, your relationships, your finances. And so if you're here, the conference is just the tip of the iceberg. I want to encourage you to get into the boot camp. The boot camp is where it all happens. The boot camp is where all the empowerment will take place. The boot camp is where you're going to get energized for destiny and purpose. Today, I'm going to be talking about something really interesting, something I'm sure you want to hear. I'm sure this is the part where a lot of people will come together and say, oh, wow, I want to be part of this. And it is about relationships. You know, I talked about this, when to get into relationships, whether you are ready or not, is here right now. I mean, you're at that point where you are about to make decisions, and you see this decision. Making the right decision is important right now, especially when it concerns marriage. You know, my pastor would say, if you don't get into the right relationship, if you don't get into the right marriage, 50% of your potential gone. And so you don't want to make a mistake. And I want to encourage you to listen up right now as I deal with this very important topic. How do you even know you're ready? I know some of you are who is your boyfriend, where's your fiance? You know, at the point in your life when you were 16, your parents were like, or when you were that issue growing up, they're like, I don't want to see anybody. If any boy says hi to you, don't even answer. If I catch you with a boyfriend, I mean, if you had African parents, you understand what I'm talking about. If I catch you with a boyfriend, let me say it that way instead of boyfriend, but now you are at that age where they start to ask you a different set of questions. Now they're asking you, who's your boyfriend? Who's your fiance? Who is the girl? Who's the guy? Something has changed. And beyond getting older is there are other determinants of whether you're ready or not. And I'm here to talk about this all important topic. How do you even know that you are ready? Is age the determinant of whether you're ready or not? Okay, so when you get a certain age and they start to ask you, where's your guy or where's your girl? Does that mean you're truly ready? What is the what are the indicators of a single that is actually ready to get into a relationship that will lead to marriage? Also, please join me as I share my screen with you in a bit. I'm just going to share my screen in a bit, and then we'll go on to doing this. Admin, can I share my screen? I can't see the share screen option. Please help and enable it. All right. So how do you know you are ready? Very important question, isn't it? I'm just going to keep talking until I get go ahead. So is age a function of readiness? Can I hear from you in the chat section? Is readiness a function of age? So you are of age now, you are above the age of 21, and you are at the age of accountability. Does that mean you are ready? All right. So when you hear people say things like my biological clock is ticking, I need to get feedback so that I'm sure that you can hear me. I'm not sure you can hear me because I can't see your feedback. I can't see your chats. I can't see your chats. I'll see it when you're chatting. All right. Thank you. Okay. I'm sorry, there's no present in the options. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. I think you have to enable me or something. There's no present in the options on my end. All right. We'll just keep going until the technical issues can be solved. Is readiness a function of age? So you're of age, does it mean you are ready? That's the question. So when people say my biological clock is ticking, or when there's a certain age, or people are asking you, where is your guy, or where is your fiancé, or where is your boyfriend, or where is your girlfriend, whatever, you know, there are so many jokes of people saying, you know, when 1 year ends, one auntie will ask you, where's your why are you not married, you know, that kind of thing. So is it because of your age? Is age the only indicator or the only index of the fact that a man or a woman is ready to get into a relationship, right? I'm here to say to you that that's not the only indication. Age tells you that what you're supposed to be doing. Age tells you it is time. You know, the Bible says, teach us to number our days so that we'll apply our heart to wisdom. Age is a measure of time. Age helps you to say this is time for this particular thing right now, but it does not mean that you are ready for it. So age helps you to number your days. Age helps you to measure your days. Age tells you that at this particular time of your life, this ought to be happening, but it does not necessarily mean that it will happen or that you are ready for it. So what exactly is the factor that I think I'm back. All right. So what exactly is the factor? What are the factors, or what is the factor that says you're ready? Write this down. I'm going to say this to you, and I want you to remember it, even if you don't remember anything else that I have said during my speech. The single most important determinant of readiness for a relationship, when it concerns to relationship, marriage, dating, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm talking about man to woman relationship and marriage. The single most important determinant section, just important determinant of whether you are ready or not, is how whole you are. How whole you are. I want to be sure you got me. So I want you to type it out in the chat section. How whole you are is the single most important determinant of whether you are ready or not ready. And now you'll be wondering what exactly is wholeness. So we are going to be examining wholeness in singlehood. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. What does it mean for a single person to be whole? When you say someone is whole and when you say someone is not whole, what does it really mean? I need to get interaction in the chat section. I'm not seeing or hearing from you, so I'm wondering if you can hear me. Please, can I get a feedback from the chat section? Thank you. I see that. Thank you. All right. Just a minute, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I wanted to say the single most important factor of being ready, the single most important determinant of readiness is wholeness. Type that out in the chat section if you heard it that way. I want to type that out that way. I'm sorry, I can't see anything that says share. Can't see anything that says share or record or present. Please give me a minute to sort this out. Apologies for the network issues. So sorry. I hope you can hear and see me again. Please let me hear from you. Can I get feedback from the admin and from the crowd? Can you hear and see me? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you hear and see me? All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're talking about a very important thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see it, I see it, I see it. All right, so let's talk about wholeness. What exactly is wholeness? What exactly? I mean, it's a word that most of you have probably never heard before. What does it mean to be whole? Let's define the word wholeness. To be whole means to be complete. You know, it means a state of completeness, a state of not lacking anything, a state of spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical wholeness. That's what it means. It means that you are complete and you don't need anything. All right, to be full. You know, that's what it means. You don't need anything, not needing anything. It means to be full. And now it is weird to say that you have to be whole to be married, because most people actually think that they get into marriage because of what they need. Now, this is different from what you've always known. People feel I need to get into a relationship because I need something. So people say things like, I need love, and that's why I need to get into a relationship. Answer the question out loud. You can write it in your book or in your, wherever it is that you're taking your notes right now. Why do you want to get into a relationship? Why exactly? I mean, think about it. I'm sure most people desire to get into relationships right here. But what is the reason? Why? Because many people tell themselves, I want to get into a relationship because I need something. Now, and I am here telling you that relationships are not for needy people. Relationships are not for needy people. Now, I'm not saying attain 100% perfection, right? The journey to wholeness is a continuous journey, right? It's not a destination. It's actually a journey of finding yourself. And it's a journey that you will be on for the rest of your life, right? However, relationships are not for needy people. We don't get into relationships because we want something. We get into relationships because we are ready to give something. And that's why you cannot be needy and healthy at the same time. Needy people don't form healthy relationships. Do you understand what I'm saying? So wholeness is a state of completeness. And move on to the next slide, please. What does that mean? People talk about the concept of better half. I'm sure you guys have heard this concept a lot of times. Better half, better half, better half, better half, better half. Please, admin, you want to go to full screen. Put your screen on full screen so that we see the slides better. Thank you. All right, thank you. That's better. Awesome. Now you can see my slides. Thank you, admin. So once we talk about better half, now this concept of better half means that on your own, you are half, another half will come and make you whole. But that's not the concept of marriage, of relationships. The concept of relationship says 1 + 1 = 1. That is two whole single, one whole single and another whole single. A healthy marriage is the amalgamation of two people that are whole. So we're not getting to marriage because we are needy. We're getting to marriage because we have something to give. And so if you're here and you've been telling yourself, oh, I need love, that's why I need to get into a relationship, I am here to tell you that a relationship will not give you more love. If you're here telling yourself, I want to be happy, I'm not happy. Maybe if I get a guy or if I get a woman, I'm going to be happy. I'm here to tell you that if you're not happy by yourself as a single person, you will not be happier getting into a relationship. Whatever you have not dealt with as a single person will become a burden you will carry in your marriage. And let me say this to you, a human being is too much. I don't know, how do I say it? A human being can never take that place. You'll be putting too much load on that person. If you're saying, I need a man to love me, that is too much weight for that man to carry. You have to love yourself first. Come on, type that in the chat section. I love myself before I find love. I love myself first before I find love. That's the most wonderful thing. Learn to love yourself first. That's wholeness. Learn to like yourself. There was this thing I saw online one day. Please move on to the next slide. And it was a weird video, and the video went on to say, I love you more than I love me. I love you more than I love myself. I love you so much more than I love myself. Hello, let me tell you something. You must love yourself so much that even if you don't receive love from a person, you are fine all by yourself. And I'm going to tell you how in a bit. Look at what I wrote here. 1 + 1 = 1. A healthy marriage is the amalgamation of two people who are truly whole. Marriage complements, not complete. Now, if you really want to understand the difference between complement and complete, I want you to look at your eyes. You have 2 eyes, but you can see with one. You have 2 nostrils, but you can breathe beautifully with one without any problem. You have 2 ears, but you can hear with just one. Now, if I closed one eye, my 2 eyes can see all around me, right? I can see this end and I can see this end because both my eyes are open. Now, if I closed one eye, it'll be difficult for me to see this end. I'll probably have to turn to see this other end because one eye is shut. But I can see clearly with one eye. That eye is complete in itself, but the other eye complements it. And that's what the Bible says when it says 2 are better than 1. 1 is good, but 2 are better. Now, you must be good in yourself. You must find and see yourself as good before someone else can see you as good. You must love yourself before you find love outside. You must learn to love yourself first. You must find yourself first before you find a mate. It all begins with you, and it all begins with wholeness. Let me say this again. I'm going ahead of myself, but it's fine. Singlehood is a journey of finding wholeness. Singlehood is a journey of growth. This season is not just a period of preparing for marriage. It's a period of preparing for life. Everything you build now is what your life is going to be the foundation of the rest of your life. And this season is one of the best seasons of your life. You must learn to maximize it. And you must learn to find wholeness in it. So many people are in a hurry to get married. Being in a hurry to get married is like going on a journey and not even enjoying the scene. You want to get to the destination. But what about the scenery? What about enjoying your journey right now? Right now, on the way to getting married, enjoy every bit of it. Next slide, please. I need to move faster now. So we're going to talk about wholeness. What does wholeness really mean? I'm going to talk about 3 main aspects of wholeness: spiritual, mental, and emotional. There are other aspects, but these ones are the ones that I really want to talk about right now. What is spiritual wholeness? Spiritual wholeness basically means understanding and receiving God's love for you. Listen, that a man by himself can never, ever understand love. No man can give love except they have received it. I want you to know that. No man can give love except they have received it. And this is where spiritual wholeness starts from. You need to understand first how much God loves you. I tell my girls, listen, don't let anybody bamboozle you. God loves you so much, it does not matter what any man does to you. You have to find yourself first in God before you find love, because God is the author of love. And not developing a relationship with your maker will give you the foundation is already lost when you don't have a relationship with God. You've lost the foundation of love. You don't understand what love is. You can't understand what love is without understanding the love of God, because God is the author of love. And this is where love story starts from. The first step to wholeness is receiving God's love for you. I'm telling you, this is what will help you to heal from every form of rejection and everything else. I have a lot to say. Just meet us in the boot camp if you really, really want to get into the nitty-gritties of these things, right? So we have mental wholeness. Mental wholeness has to do with developing your mind, right? So it's what we call AKA personal development. And the most important thing about mental wholeness is that it helps you to develop and sharpen what we call the earning ability. Your earning ability. Hey, you're not ready. If you're not ready, if you're not, it's not amazing. It's not, how do I say this? It's not coincidence that God gave Adam work before he gave him a wife. So many singles are out there looking for someone to come and take care of them. If you cannot take care of yourself, you're not ready. That's the truth. If you don't have an earning ability, you're not ready for marriage. Because marriage is responsibility for someone else. In fact, more than one person. So it's not about you're not getting into marriage to become a liability. And I'm saying this to women, especially because women feel there has to be a man in my life to take care of me. Hello. Marriage is not for needy people. Remember that. Marriage is about giving something. If you don't have anything to give, please stay single. Hallelujah. Now, the third one is emotional wholeness. And this is where I really love to talk about emotional wholeness, because it talks about understanding and mastering your emotions. Understanding and mastering your emotions. Emotions like rage, emotions like anger. If you're the type that gets angry anyhow, if you're the type that gets depressed, moody, you're not ready. You're just going to be a burden. All right. There's another part of it that people don't talk about so much. Managing your sexual urges. Listen to me. If you cannot control your urges as a single person, you won't do well in marriage either. I'm telling you the truth. If you're saying, "Oh, I'm always high, I'm always horny, that's why I want to get to a marriage, I want to get married because I can't control myself," you are not ready. Because marriage is not about dumping your needs on the other person. The other person will never satisfy your needs. I need you to understand this. It's not about getting your needs satisfied. It's about having something to give. So if you're getting to marriage because you want sexual, someone to come and help you with your sexual urges, you won't do well, because let me tell you, that person will never be enough for you. You will go out and still get it elsewhere. Nobody can nobody can fulfill your needs apart from God. And that's why spiritual wholeness is where wholeness starts. No human being can fill that void. No human being can meet your needs. Don't be a burden. Don't be garbage. Don't take all those things into a marriage and dump it on a human being and expect that the human being will come and help your life. No, you need to be whole first. All right, let's move it on. I want to say this here. If you keep getting into the same cycles of toxic relationships, you need a you fix. This is a very profound statement, and I'm saying it here because many people don't understand that when you are always having toxic relationship, the same cycle repeating itself. You need a you fix. Something about your wholeness has gone wrong. You are broken, and a broken person will always malfunction. Have you ever seen something that is broken before? It can't function properly. Something about your internal wholeness is wrong, and that's why you keep getting into the same relationship. You keep attracting toxic people. You are needy. You need a man to love you. You can't stay outside of a relationship. There's a problem. And if you're here and you feel this way, please get into the boot camp. I wrote this because I wanted someone to see this and just say, I'm signing up for the boot camp. Because if you see the same cycle of relationships, something is wrong. You need a fix. And we'll fix that in the boot camp, okay? So let's talk about, very quickly, I'm going to go through this in the next 5 minutes. Next cycle. Next slide, please. So how do you know if you are whole or unwholesome? I want to bring it home now. We're bringing it home now. I'm going to give you some examples, some comments that, some examples. I'm bringing it home right now. How do you know if you are whole or unwhole? Now, an unwhole person, a spiritually unwhole person will say, I'm not really paying attention. If you're not really paying attention to your growth or your relationship with God, then your spiritual wholeness is lacking. Something is wrong. When you're not paying attention to spiritual growth, you're not paying attention to spiritual things, then you are not growing spiritually. That you need to understand that you cannot achieve wholeness except you are paying attention to the things that cause growth. Wholeness is achieved through growth. So to be whole in any aspect, you need to pay attention to the things that grow you in that aspect, okay? And that's why we do things like this. We have conferences like this, because growth means you are increasing in knowledge of something. So if you are not paying attention to your spiritual growth habits, you will not achieve your wholeness spiritually, right? But a whole person, a whole spiritual youth, a spiritually whole youth will say, will pay attention to growth, will pay attention to spiritual growth. That's what we have here in TNN. We have 360 degrees growth in the next network. We are helping you to grow spiritually. We're helping you to grow mentally. We're helping you to grow emotionally, because growth has to take place for you to be whole. That's how to be whole. Now, how do you know that you're whole mentally? Someone that is whole mentally will say to himself, I can solve problems, can solve mental problems. Because what your mental prowess does is that it helps you to solve problems. It helps you to, your financial intelligence is improved. Your earning ability is improved. Now, if you are whole as a single, you will always know what to do to make money. You will never be stuck. You won't give excuses for not earning. And listen to me, if you are still telling yourself, I need somebody to help me, I need somebody to take care of me, you're not ready. Because you get into marriage to take care of people. All right. How do you know if you are whole or unwhole emotionally? Next slide, please. To be whole emotionally. Now listen, if you're here and you still tell yourself, I need a man to help, to love me, you're not whole emotionally. The only person that can fill your emotional bank, is not a man, it's God. And that's why spiritual growth is where it all starts from. How, if you're saying I cannot control my urges, I can't control my anger, I can't control my emotion, I'm not emotionally intelligent, then you need help. A whole single will say things like, I love myself. I am alone, but I'm not lonely. Loneliness is a needy feeling. You say, I'm going to get married because I'm lonely. You are needy. Listen, marriage is not for needy people. Remember I said that, right? I'm depressed about my singlehood. When you say things like, I'm depressed about my singlehood, I'm depressed because I'm not married, you are needy. You're not whole emotionally. When you say things like, I love my life, when you say things like, I feel something is wrong with me, that's why I'm not married, you are needy. You're not whole emotionally. When you say things like, I have low self-esteem because my friends are married, I'm not married, or you want to rush into a relationship because your friends are married and you're not married, or you feel like, I just cannot be without a man. I cannot take breaks from relationships. I just have to be with a man. You need help with emotional wholeness. You see, these are signs that you must look out for. When you say things like, I love this man more than I love myself. Hello, you should not love any man more than you love yourself. You love yourself. The Bible says, love your neighbors as yourself, not more than yourself. So I don't understand. When you love yourself first, you won't let a man treat you anyhow. When you love yourself first, you won't allow anybody to treat you like garbage. You won't take nonsense. When you carry yourself with self-respect, when you have self-love, you won't allow a man or woman, thank you, anybody to treat you like garbage. Because you have self-love. Come on, say, I love myself. I want to tell yourself where you are. I love myself. Next slide, please. I love myself. I love me. I love the way I look. Look, listen, learn to love and embrace yourself. I hear women saying things like, oh, I wish I had lips like Angelina Jolie or legs like this person. You are unique. You are beautiful all by yourself. And except you can see that, you would always feel like you're beautiful all by yourself. All right, let's just click on it. Attend the boot camp if you want to hear me talk further on these things, okay? There are deeper things we need to talk about, but I have very little time. Now, listen, how to behold. This is how to behold. One word. There's just one word I want to drop here. Growth. Growth is how it all happens. Growth is how it all happens. Growth is how it all happens. Spiritual growth, personal development, improving in emotional intelligence, grow. Singlehood is the season for growth. Singlehood is the season for growth. Listen, don't be all about trying to get married and getting married on time. Become a better version of you. And listen to me, that's what the next network is about. Helping you to grow 360 degrees so that you can become the good person that attracts a better person. You know, people want to attract good people, but they don't want to be better. It starts with you. Finding your better half starts with you becoming better. I will say that again. Finding your better half starts with you becoming better, because you attract who you are. You attract who you are. You attract who you are. I tell people, listen, Prince falling in love with maid only happens in Nigerian movies. Let me tell you now. In real life, doesn't ever happen. Because it takes a lot more than physical attraction to keep a marriage going. A maid will always think like a maid, and a prince will always think like a prince. A prince is likely to attract royal blood or someone that has been raised in that way. It doesn't just happen. You attract who you are. So if you want to get better, if you want to attract better people, work on yourself. Grow. My last slide, please. My last slide. I'm here to say something to you that I don't want you to ever forget. Singlehood is not just a preparation for marriage. It is a preparation for life. Think about that. Maximize your singlehood through growth. Singlehood is not just preparing this season of your life. You're not just preparing for marriage. You know, some people feel, oh, when I get married, that's the end. Hello, it's a new beginning. The end of singlehood, but a new beginning. And you are still building your life, right? That's not the end. That's a new beginning. This season of your life should be maximized by paying attention to growth, by pouring yourself into spiritual growth, into personal development, into emotional intelligence. This is the season where you need to grow. Your future, we thank you for it. And here I want to tell you, it is time to take a new step, a new decision today. This is a transition season of your life. And at every point when there's transition, there is unrest. There are decisions to make. We are here to help you make the right decisions. I would really love to meet you in the boot camp. And if you want to hear more about relationships, get growing, growing. I already have talked about growth earlier, and I'm here talking about growth again. That is the single most important thing you can do with your single life, to grow, so that you can achieve wholeness. The singlehood season is a period for achieving wholeness. That is the real reason singlehood exists, because if not, God would have just created all of us married. We don't have to be waiting, right? But singlehood exists so that you can find wholeness through growth. Thank you so much for listening. I've said just a few things today, but if you really want to hear more, I'd like to see you in the bootcamp. Sign up for the bootcamp right now. The link is being sent out. You can see it right there on the platform. Every platform where you're listening, the link is being sent out. Click the link, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye. Thank you.
I'm coming on. Wow. Have you been blessed or what? Wow, what a session. I already saw people commenting and saying, wow, my eyes have been opened to a lot of realities. These are things that we need to keep hearing over and over again. Wholeness is the key to living a very great life, not just about relationship. Thank you so much, Pastor Ayo, for that amazing session. We have been transformed, we have been changed, and it's just 2 sessions, and we feel like, oh my God, we've eaten a lot of food so far. I feel so blessed already, and I believe that you are still ready to receive even more. We are not done yet. But we are about to get deeper. But before we go into the next 2 sessions, oh my, we're going to be listening to some amazing testimonies of 2 other people who have witnessed a lot of transformation. All right, and I have the privilege of bringing on board Mofe Arifalo as he takes his testimony this afternoon. And then after, we are going to have Edwina Neminego. Please get ready.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mofe, and very quickly, I'll be sharing my testimony on emotional growth. So before I joined the community, I was my mic was muted. I didn't understand or think about the need for emotional growth. And coming to the community, there are so many things that we get taught, especially when we have been trained for leadership, that you need to have emotional intelligence. There's something that RD, that is Reverend Dawson, the first speaker that came on board, what she spoke about. There are different things that we have to take into consideration when it comes to our growth, which are physical, mental, emotional, and a few others. So this emotional part is very essential when it comes to dealing with people, because you have to learn how to connect with people, especially in the community where there are tons of people. You have to know how to meet people, to talk to people, to connect with people on a deeper level, so that you can help them to fulfill that purpose. You can help them on their journey. So I think that's one thing this community has done for me, to help to bring me out of my shell, out of my comfort zone, and get comfortable with people. So that's my testimony. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mofe. And now we are going to have Edwina Neminego.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share my testimonial on mentorship. So before I joined this community, I'd always known that there was something about me, right? There was something about me. I knew I had a voice. I knew I was called to do something. I was called to be more and to do more for myself and my generation. But, I couldn't do all of this in the environment that I was, because I was not properly trained and mentored. This community, gave me a platform to not just grow spiritually, but grow physically. And all of these things could not have been done without proper mentorship and accountability. Growth can never be done alone. There is no growth that is done in isolation. right? And for you to grow, you need the right kind of environment, the right kind of people feeding you with the right kind of information. Really, it cannot be done alone. And this is what this community has done for me, because in just a matter of 2 years or almost 3 years, right? And the right kind of mentorship and accountability, things that I know that I could never have done for myself, I do now. I speak now and I say now. And I know that there's so much more to me than that I will still achieve after this. So, yeah, this is my testimony, and I'm very grateful for the mentorship of my leaders, my pastors, for holding me by the hand, for not giving up on me. Because really, if I'd been doing this on my own, I know that I would have left a long time ago. But yeah, I'm very grateful for everyone that has held me by the hand and shown me the way, and is still showing me the way till now. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mofe and Edwina, for that amazing testimony. All right, you see, the testimonies of transformed life is the greatest and biggest testimony ever. So moving on, I want to believe that we've all learned. I mean, it's been such a great session. The 2 sessions we've had so far have been great. If you've learned something today, I want you to comment on the chat box with your favorite sticker or emoji and just say, I've learned so much. I've learned. I'm learning. All right. So we're moving on to the third session. All right. We're going to have the third speaker coming up today. Coming up right about now. If you are in this place and you're still stuck about, you're stuck, you don't know what to do yet as regards your career, you're still, at that stage trying to navigate what's next as regards career. I know that we have many of us in this category today. I want you to fasten your belt. You're about to learn. You're about to get direction. If you have friends that are, that ought to be here, you have graduates, you have, youth corps members that ought to be here, please send the link to them, post it on your status. I want you to just do that right now. I want to post it on your status and say, I'm at the transition conference, I'm at the next conference, and I would like you to join me. So just post the link. You can post the Telegram link. You can post the YouTube link on your status. And I want you to put done once you're done on any of our platform. You can post done on YouTube. You can post done on Telegram. Right? Can we just do that quickly? Let's bring in our friends here. I mean, one of the greatest things that can happen to someone is that you have people you're growing together with. If you're growing and you're not helping your friend grow, I mean, you don't love your friend. All right, so please send it to your friends, send it to your colleagues, send it to your classmates, your platform, platform where you have fellow graduates. Please send it to them so that they can join in and learn with you. All right, so right about now, I'll be bringing up our speaker, our third speaker. She's Minister Biolu. I want you to get your writing material because you're going to learn. What you're going to learn is going to help you as regards your career path, your career choice. Finding the right job. I'm becoming employable in this. In becoming employable in this season. All right. So are we ready? If you're ready, say ready, ready, ready on the chat box. I want to feel your excitement. Are you ready? All right. So I'm going to hand over right now to Minister Biolu.
Hello, next generation, next generation. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm super excited to be here. Let me see your excitement. Wow. It's been an amazing session, okay? All right. So I'm going to just very quickly get to the crux of the matter because I know that already you've gotten a lot. I know that you've gotten a lot, okay? But today, what I want to do, awesome, thank you. All right, so yeah, what we're going to be talking about today, and we'll just go straight into the heart of the matter, is 5 proven strategies for any career starter to position for a successful career. Now, before I start, let me remind you of something that you said when you were young. Before, I'm sure somebody's wondering, you were not there when I was young. So how do you know something I said when I was young? But I know that a very common phenomenon for many of us is the fact that we looked at our parents, we love them. Our parents have given their all, they've given everything. You know, they loved you, sent you to all the best schools with the best of their ability. They've done everything they can for you, right? And you love them so much. However, there are things that you look at in them that you say that, you know what, in this aspect, I plan to be better than my parents. How many people have ever said that? Maybe in certain aspects, you've said, I'm going to be better than my parents. If you've said that, let me just type yes, 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 yes. In certain aspects, you love your parents, so in fact, you want to take care of them, you want to do everything for them. But in certain aspects, you feel like, you know what, I wish I can be better than my parents. If you are in that category, okay, yeah, I can see people saying, yes, thank you so much, right? So in many aspects, many of us want to be better than our parents. Awesome. And one of the most common aspects where people will say that I can never, ever be like my parents, or I'll be way better, is usually in the place of finances and career. Is in the place of finances and career. You watch your parents, and sometimes you're wondering, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know my mom is brilliant. I know my dad is this. I know my dad is that. Why didn't he do more? Why didn't he give more? Why didn't he, we ask all of these questions, right? Now, let me tell you something that is interesting. It is your turn. It is your turn. Somebody say, it is my turn. It is your turn. You are now the parent. In a few years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, between the next 10 years, it's going to be you making those decisions. And in the next 10 years, one child is looking up to you and saying, why did my mom not do this? Why did my dad not, why did he not go for more? So what I'm going to be sharing with us this afternoon is just 5 strategies. There is a lot more. There is a lot more. You would agree with me that we can't complete everything. So I'm just going to give you very tiny tasters of things that you need to do. You see, there was something that Pastor Ayo mentioned when she was having a session, and she said it is the time for you to make a decision. It is time for you to decide. That is usually the difference between those that succeed and those that don't. It's that ability to make a decision and say, I have decided that I'm going to succeed. I've decided that I'm not going to be small. I've decided that I'm going to have a great career that will fund my needs, that will fund my dreams. Let's just get to the slides. Okay? So today I'm going to talk about why you should care about this. I'm going to talk about 5 strategies, and then we'll do a bonus strategy for you, okay? Now, why should you care? Why should you care about making a definite decision at this time? I don't even have to talk so far. The first thing you should consider is the inflation. The thing you could use, or the things you could use 1,000 naira to buy some 1 year ago. I know 1 year is far-fetched, but let's just use 1 year. Is it possible to buy the same things at 1,000 naira today? So it has become inevitable that you cannot sit down there and just say, oh, now that I have a certificate, let me just get a job and it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay anymore. Now you need to be asking yourself the big questions. You need to start asking those big questions like, how can I succeed? How can I do much more than what I need right now? Those are the kind of questions that you need to begin to ask yourself at this time, because it's time. You need to beat inflation. Many of us want to do ministry. People in ministry will tell you that, in Yoruba, there is a phrase that will say that money is the bicycle that the gospel rides on. Money is the bicycle that the gospel rides on. If you want to do ministry and you don't have money, there is only, as far as you can go. All right. So you need money to be able to do these things. The next thing is you have dreams. God did not put dreams inside of you to frustrate you. He didn't put people around you to be doing amazing things just for you as a child of God to be frustrated. Somebody say, God did not create me to be frustrated. I want you to type it out. Say, God did not create me to be frustrated. He's not a wicked God, right? He has put resources around you, and it is time for you to make that decision and ensure that you're able to maximize everything around you to get the best. And that is what I do. I help you look around you. What do I have? What can I do with what I have? That is what I do with you, okay? All right, so the next thing is you want to get to that point when you're retiring from, active career, when you're no longer in this job, or when you're no longer running your business, and you want to be able to say to yourself, I lived my life to the fullest. I did everything that I could have done. Like, I lived. I did not just exist. I was not just going with the tides and with the waves, but I lived my life to the fullest. Let's go very quickly. The first strategy I'm going to be sharing with you. Now, I need you to know that all of the strategies, you can pick a single one and run with it, okay? You can pick a single strategy and run with it. Then we'll talk about a bonus strategy at the end of the day. So all of them can be independent of the other. It's just about you making the decision and saying that this is the one I want to run with, and this is how I want to go about it, okay? So all the strategies, you can pick one and run with it. As I go through the 5 strategies I'm teaching today, you will realize that some of them will resonate more with your situation than the other, because all of us are coming from different backgrounds. Some people have studied courses that they like. Some people, because they studied, they don't even understand how they got there, right? We are coming from different places. Some people have certain privileges that others don't have yet, right? So different strategies would attract you more than other ones. But whichever one is your own, pick it and begin to run with it. The first strategy is the unboxing strategy. And the power or the idea behind this strategy is that you have the power to define the rest of your life. So it's time for you to do what? To choose wisely. You have the power right now. See, nobody's limiting you anymore. Before, you could say, oh, it's because my parents did not have money. It's because this, is because that. Once you clock the age of 18, you are responsible for your own life. I know that African parents are very nice and they're very kind. They'll still accommodate you in their houses. They'll still take care of you. In fact, as a lady, if you say you want to go and live by yourself, they might say, oh, no, you will suffer, right? But from the moment you clock 18, let your brain rewire. Let there be a rewiring in your brain that I am responsible for myself. Start thinking, how can I make enough money to be able to meet my needs? Those are the things you need to begin to think about right from the moment, even before you clock 18. Because it's not at that point you want to just immediately click a button and say, I want to start doing this. So what do you do in this strategy? Number one is you strip yourself of every privilege you've had. Oh, my parents are still okay. They still send me money. Strip yourself of it. Okay? Oh, I studied this course because I studied medicine. Medicine, I will get a job. Strip yourself of every privilege. And strip yourself of every limitation. So your limitation might be, oh my God, what I studied is Yoruba, Yoruba traditional studies. That's what you did in school. You now say, oh, this is the reason why I'm limited. You are not limited by anything. The world has changed drastically over the past 10 to 20 years. In the past, your success in career was largely determined by what you studied. Today, you can enter into almost any career field. Almost any career field with a basic BSc in any course. We have doctors that are into business management. We have doctors in tech. We have people that studied agric that are now in tech. You can do anything. With a degree in agriculture, for example, you can get your ICANN. You can get your ICANN and go into finance. You can do absolutely anything. So what you need to do in the unboxing strategy is this. Remove all those privileges and those limitations that you have at the back of your mind. Remove them. Then go and research. What are the best paying career fields in the world today? Nobody is holding you. Your placenta has not been buried in the course that you studied. Nobody is holding you. Your placenta is not buried inside the compound of the uncle that promised you a job. Okay? So remove everything. Remove all the noise. Sit down. What are the careers that pay? Okay? What are the careers that pay? today. Write them down. Okay, if I do this, I will earn this amount. If I go for this, I will earn this amount. If I go for this, so do your research. Then look at yourself. Which one am I going to be able to succeed in? Write it down. And from there, begin to get the things. Research the time, the skills, the certifications that you will need to get into the field you want, and then go for it. It's as simple as that. Research and go for what you want. No limitations. Let's go to the second strategy. If you're learning something, type learning. If you're learning something, type learning. The first strategy, unboxing. Strip yourself of every privilege. Strip yourself of every limitation. Open your eyes. Do your research. Go and find out real estate, tech, agriculture, this and that. Nobody's limiting you and nobody is promising you anything. Don't live your life based on promises. Don't live your life based on limitations. Do your own research and begin to find your way. Find the time, find the resources, find everything you need to get into the place that you want. Let's go to the next strategy. The next strategy is my favorite. This is what I usually help people to do, okay? But like I said, different strokes for different folks, okay? For some people, all they need is to unbox. They need to remove those limitations for themselves, right? But for some people, it's personal branding. What does this mean? It means that you want to find out who you are to make the decisions, okay? So you're not just jumping into any field. How many people have watched like 1 million YouTube videos? Oh, if you just come and take this training. In fact, how many people have done business analytics training? That's the major culprit. They'll tell you, once you do business analytics like this, you're made for life. I have so many clients that have come to me after taking a certification. They're like, oh, this thing is not meant for me. After paying maybe $500,000 naira, they'll say, oh my God, this thing is just not me. Or maybe they could not even complete the course. So in personal branding, before you jump on the next YouTube advert promising you international jobs that pay in dollars, or promising you this, or telling you to come and open your own e-commerce store, you want to find yourself. So you want to, and when I say find yourself, you're looking at your core values. Who am I at the core of my being? Who am I at the core of my being? What am I likely to succeed in, right? And based on your core values, not your passion. You are not basing it on your passion or anything. First, based on your core values, you then look at the areas where you are likely to succeed, and then you make your decision based on that. Thank you. Even digital marketing is not for everybody. Yes, writing is not for everybody. All those things are not for everybody. So look inwards. You find yourself, and once you find yourself, you are able to make a decision based on who you are at the core of your being. Okay, for more on the personal branding strategy, meet us at the bootcamp. Register for the bootcamp and meet us. Okay, number 3 is the arsenal strategy. This is one strategy I love so much, right? And in this strategy, what you do is this: you make your own decision. See, if you want to, how do I put it? How many people have been to, you've been to maybe a high-end event, and then when you got there, you felt a bit out of place because of the way you were dressed? Maybe you've been to maybe certain circles, and then because of the way you were dressed, you felt, a bit somehow, right? See, in the same vein, this world is a visual world, okay? In the arsenal strategy, you probably already know what you want to do, okay? You already know that, oh, I studied sociology. I'm looking for jobs that are related to sociology. Maybe you have the job title that you're looking for. Now, it is your choice whether you will take that CV the way it looks, right? And you are just applying like that, like every other person in the large pool, or you will go get yourself a CV writer, like a make-sense CV writer that has a track record of helping people get jobs, right? You put together a cover letter. You find yourself a mentor in the field that you want. This is where you bring out your arsenal. You know that you are going to battle. You are not unaware of what you're doing, right? Because you know the kind of jobs you want. You know that you are looking for a job with United Nations. You are not just looking for a job with Uncle Something and Sons Limited. So because of that, you will bring out all your arsenal, everything everything, whatever you need to do, you will do it to ensure that you get the best results, right? You know exactly what you want to do, and you bring out every arsenal. You're connecting with the right people. You go on LinkedIn, you're connecting with the right set of people. You're probably even making posts that are showing you in the light of who you are. You are bringing out everything, every tool you have to position yourself to get what you want. That is the Arsenal strategy. And I say to you, on the Arsenal strategy, high net worth or low net worth, choose your struggle. You will still struggle at the end of the day, but you choose what your struggle will be. The fourth strategy is another favorite of mine, the bull strategy. Let me tell you a short story on the bull strategy. A couple of years back, somebody reached out to me. Somebody I'd known for years. She reached out to me and said, oh, I heard you're helping people get jobs today. Oh, now I said, yes, I help people get jobs. And she said, I want you to help me get a job. So I said, let me see your CV. Where have you worked? She said, oh, she's not worked though. In fact, she has been at home for 7 years since she graduated, and she would just normally sell provisions. And I'm like, oh my God, where do we start from? But you see, this lady had something. She had an attitude. She had an attitude. She told me, she said, I will get something, don't worry. You know, when it is your client that is telling you I will get something, I'm like, okay, let's work together. So we put together everything. We used the personal branding route for her. You know, she decided that, okay, she could do sales. So we started positioning her for sales and everything. But this lady had this attitude of I'm going to get something, such that by the time we completed the boot camp with her, she was putting in applications every single day. Every day, applications. She would get unfortunately, she will put it. Before the end of 3 months, she had gotten 3 international jobs. 3 international jobs. And then when she was done with her own boot camp, she now went and brought her friend that was in the same situation. And it was the same exact thing they did. See, men of action are favored by the goddess of luck. People that move, not the people that think. They are thinking, oh, I will do it. You've attended every training, but you don't take any action. You have listened to this one again. No, when you are done, you put off your video, you go to Instagram, you are scrolling. Men of action are the ones that get the best. It's time to, somebody say, I will move. Somebody say, I'm ready to move. I'm ready. When you go for any training, you know what? One thing I do for any training I go to these days, before I used to go to trainings, and when I'm done, we clap for the speaker, we chat the speaker. I don't even try to take everything these days. I just take one thing, only one thing, and I make a move. Somebody say, I will take one thing and I'll make a move. One thing and I'll make a move. Okay. So you take a step. You take every single day, take a step, whether it is revamping your CV, whether it is applying for jobs, whether it is reaching out to people. The bull strategy is for people that move with full force. Anything they hear, they do. And sometimes, see, people that use this strategy, they don't even have to have anything. Just the fact that every training they attend, eventually they get something, okay? And the final strategy is a strategy that is not very familiar. Like, many young people are not familiar with it. Our parents understood this strategy, but in our days, it's like we're so impatient, we can't wait for anything. So you'll find Abisola. Abisola will start today. She will tell you that, oh, Auntie B, I've taken what do you call it? I've taken this course on digital marketing. Let's use digital marketing. I've taken this course on digital marketing, right? And Abisola will now come. She'll position herself maybe on LinkedIn or on TikTok, and she's telling people I'm a digital marketer. She does that for 1 month, 2 months, because maybe only one client came. She'll now say, oh, this one doesn't pay. She will leave, like the guy, just in the column below. So she will leave and say, oh, digital marketing is not it. So she will now start another thing again. Oh, okay, let me now try content. I can write too. Abisola starts to write. Abisola is writing and writing and writing. And then Abisola will say, oh, I got a client, but it doesn't really pay. And then leave that one again. And then start time strategy. Don't give up before you hit your diamonds. And that's the problem that many people have today. However, because I said don't give up, don't now quote me and said, I went to that conference, the next conference, and they told me that I should not give up. So you now stay there and you're not doing anything. You need to wait wisely. How do you wait wisely? When you're waiting, you don't wait for something to happen. You don't wait for something to happen. Think of waiting like a waiter in a restaurant. A waiter in a restaurant will go and stand by the person they are waiting for. A waiter in the restaurant is asking questions. What can I offer you? A waiter in the restaurant is giving up. These are the things that we can do. You are not just sitting down and waiting like a husband that is waiting for the wife that is doing makeup and then pressing on. Pa, 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 pa. You wait wisely. While you're waiting, you're networking. While you're waiting, you're asking yourself the right questions. While you're waiting, you're building yourself. You're adding value to yourself. That is how to use the time strategy. So you're waiting, but you're adding value. You're waiting, you're getting volunteer opportunities. You're waiting, you are adding to yourself. And that is how to use the time strategy. And I promised you a bonus strategy. And the bonus strategy is the combination strategy. Now you can create what I call a domino effect. You know that domino effect where you have a pack of cards that are standing, and once you push one, right, it just continues to go and go and go and go. You can create that kind of effect by combining one or two of these strategies. Take one or two of these strategies, combine them together, and keep going at it every single day, every single day, every single day, and see what will happen. And on this note, I want to say a very big thank you for the time. Once again, I want to say thank you to the organizers of the next conference. Thank you so much. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure being here. And in case you're here and you're just planning to, let me just finish the conference and go, there is a boot camp, and I'm going to be on that, and I'm going to be training on that boot camp. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much, Minister Biolu. That was so explosive. How many of you felt like she shouldn't stop? I mean, I felt like, please, ma, just keep talking. Just keep giving it to us. You know, if you want to learn more, register for the bootcamp. If you're still not registered, what are you waiting for? Register now. Click on the link that's been posted on all our platform and register. Register. You know, one of the things that she said that was just so profound is that we have the power to define the rest of our lives, right? You have the power to define the rest of your life by making the right choices, right? Make the right choice today by registering for the Transition Bootcamp. Click on the link. Click on that link right now. All right, so moving on, I have two amazing people from our community who have truly been transformed, who have grown, who have stretched, who have become better persons, right? So I'm going to be bringing them up to share their experiences, to share their, their experiences just in 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. I know that they are ready. They're at the back end. Can we have Eddie? Eddie, are you ready for us?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Happy New Month, everyone. And I want to celebrate everyone who has spoken, every speaker. Thank you very much for having me on here. So in no time, I want to just share on the power of community in the Next network and how it has contributed to my transformation. So I joined the Next community in 2022, and before then I was a very zealous person, but I was someone who had fire with no direction, right? And I had gone through a trying time. Now it might sound a bit cliche, but while I was thinking about my testimony, I didn't know the impact that loneliness had on me, being diagnosed with bipolar and experiencing a long time of depression and even being suicidal, right? I would have denied that I was lonely because I was that person who was the life of the party, always playing and all. But true, I think loneliness is not even about the number of people around you, but having the kind of people, right? So I maybe had people in my life, but I didn't have my kind of people, right? And I met Reverend Dr. Henry Fallow in 2019. And for about, say, 3 years, I was considering if I should go on a journey with her or not. But one thing I even did was that I listened to her podcast a lot. And, while I had experienced that downturn in 2022, I made a decision to say, you know what? Like, she kept ringing in my heart that I knew no one else to meet but her. I just felt like the day I had met her, I knew that she was just the kind of person I wanted to be. But for some reasons, I kept on, deliberating on if I should or not. So in 2022, I made that bold step and I went to meet her. And, for real, she didn't just even bring me just to know her. She brought me into a community. I got very uncomfortable with the amount of vulnerability that had to happen, right? I would meet a lot of people after service. There's a lot of hugs, this, that, and it's been very beautiful. And so I would like to say a few things that happened to me joining the community. Number one, I have the right environment that can, propagate and really help what God has placed on my inside. It's not enough to have potential. You must be in the right environment. You're no longer going to be a local champion when you come into a company of other egos, right? One thing that happens when you come into the next community is that mediocrity is taken away from you. And when I say mediocrity, I don't even mean that you're mediocre. I'm saying maybe you've always, settled in your best as your best. You begin to say, I remember one day, one of Pastor Ayo was taking a meeting, and I had told her that, after the meeting, I never knew that there will be a day in my life where I'll be in the community of women that I've always wanted to be like. After she had taken a training session, I just felt so blessed in my heart. The second thing that has happened is that the Bible says that in a multitude of counselors, there is safety. I have safety. Now, it's very possible for my head to turn or even to want to make wrong decisions. But, having counselors, having people who have gone ahead of you in different areas of your life, right? I promise you, it's not just only spiritual. I ask for random things like friendship, like relationship, like even self-care, health. I think, it's such a 360 empowering community. There's no one in this community that can't solve any problem that I have. And I promise, and I can say that again. The third thing that has happened, joining the community is continuous and sustained growth, right? You're always going to be what's the word now? You're always going to be inspired and challenged, right? Just in September, we had a fire project. I think after the fire project, 6 hours of prayer has become, something that I don't even want to ever go back to, right? And, I have sisters locally and even internationally who I connect with and I do life with, and they've become my best friend. I have younger sisters, I have smaller sisters. And the last point I'll say is love. Every human being needs love to thrive. And one thing that happens in the next community is that we are even instructed to love, right? And there's no love without commitment. In the next community, we are committed to loving each other, and we are instructed to love each other as well. And those are the things that has happened to me joining our community. And I'm very grateful. I hope you come into the boot camp, and not just coming into the boot camp.
All right.
Part of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eddie. I mean, that testimony is just out of this world. Thank you. All right. So do we have Korede? Are you ready? Korede, are you ready? All right, so we'll just move on. I guess he's having a little bit issues with his network. So right about now, we have our fourth speaker for today, who is also the last speaker. All right, and it's just getting hotter and hotter. Are you ready to learn? Now, those of us that are, done with school. I believe that many of us are done with school here. And I know one of the next thing, you're thinking about is how to earn, money, right? I know, right? So get ready to learn about finances and how to, create wealth. All right, how to create wealth. Get your writing materials and get ready to learn. So right about now, we're bringing up Pastor Iswa Okoji. Now you can't listen to this woman talk about finances and remain the same. Trust me, you're going to learn. You're going to unlearn. You're going to relearn. All right. So right about now, we're bringing her up. Please post on your status as well. If you have friends who you feel like, man, you need to take your finances to the next level, let them join in. Let them join in. All right. So over to you, Ma.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Minister Olamide. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear? Let me know that you can hear me. Give me your best emojis. Give me your comments. Let me know that you are here. I'm super excited. This conference has been amazing. I am so pumped up. Even the testimonial sessions were like, it was like a main speaker session, and that just shows what happens in a community where people are growing. Right. So can you hear me? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. All right. Give me your favorite emoji. I just want to be sure that you can all hear me this afternoon, and we are going to take a jolly ride into creating your wealth roadmap. All right. So give me a thumbs up. Somebody help me. I want to know that, my audio is good and we are ready to go. All right. Because when I get on this train, I will not stop till we end. Okay. Thank you. That's awesome. 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 So let's dive into it this afternoon. I'm super excited. One of the things I love to do is talk to young people, about life, about money, about finances, about everything really. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be here at the Transition Conference. And today I'm talking about creating your wealth roadmap. All right. Are you ready for that? Creating your wealth roadmap. Several times when I have, training sessions with people, one of the first things I ask is, when you think about your future, what do you want to be? Who do you want to become? I remember this particular training session with, some young teenagers, and all of them were saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be freaking rich. I want to be stupendously rich. I want to be a billionaire. In fact, one young boy, got up and said, I want to be a billionaire, yeah. He sang the song for us in the training session. And that was just so interesting. It's amazing that young people want to be wealthy, want to be successful, but they don't know how to be successful. And that's why we're talking about creating your own wealth roadmap. What does that even mean? I have a very interesting quote here by Chris Brogan. All right. We can go on with the slide presentation. Okay, awesome. This is beautiful. All right, I hope you can see my slides. Okay, so I have a very interesting quote here by Chris Brogan, and he says, the goal isn't more money. The goal is living your life on your own terms. When we want to define success, it is not about a flamboyant lifestyle. It's not about cars. It's not about houses. It's not even about plenty of money, right? Wealth is about who you become. And probably you're hearing this for the very first time. I'm wondering, really? I thought wealth was all about money, 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 and the flashy lifestyle. Well, let me announce to you that wealth is about who you become. It is about a product of your personality, all right? And that's why you find a billionaire who can become bankrupt today and produce that wealth all over again in a shorter time, because wealth is not in the amount of things that a person owns, but in the quality of person that you become. I remember when I left school at the age of 22, I just graduated. I was just in your place. And I'd gone to meet my wealthy uncle. How many of us have those kind of uncles and aunts, that we go meet from time to time? So I'd gone to meet my wealthy uncle. And so I told him I wanted a job, I wanted to start working and earn money. I wasn't willing to wait for NYC to come. I'm like, I had about 4 months or 5 months in between that time, when I would go for our National Youth Service Corps. And I thought, okay, let me just start making money quickly, fresh from school, hot and on fire. What's the best thing to do? Earn my own money. And my uncle gave me a big shocker, I would say a very annoying advice at that time that I did not even understand. And he told me, he says, so I take time to learn. He says, and not just work. He says, you will work for the rest of your life. He said, even when you go and leave, you will still find yourself working. I mean, it's been how many years after I left school? And that advice is so true. I wish I understood it then. We are the generation with the greatest leverage. I like to tell young people, there's no generation like ours that has the amount of leverage that we have now. And do you know why? It's because knowledge is so accessible. I mean, all you had to do was be on somebody's WhatsApp status, be somebody's friend on WhatsApp, finish at some school, and then somebody sent you this link, and you're here today watching this conference live, right? That you may not have known about, but because of the power of technology, we are connecting with people from different parts of the world right here in real time. And that's why nobody has an excuse, to be ignorant in this time. Nobody has an excuse to say, I don't know what it takes to be successful. I mean, look at that power session by Coach Biolu. That was amazing. You've heard a lot today, and that's how the world is. There's a lot at the fingertips of young people, and yet they don't really understand what success means or what it means to be successful. Guess what? You know why? School did not teach you about wealth. School did not teach you about success. I mean, did anybody on this call have any course in school where it was like maybe 4 units, 3 units, 5 units, where you learned about success and wealth creation? Nobody. right? We can do a sample on this call. I don't know. I didn't have any course in school. We learned all kinds of things. I mean, when I was in school, even some of the free courses, they were teaching us things that were extinct, teaching about Fortran 4, Fortran 2, and all of that. Those are things that are not even used in this present day world, right? So school actually prepares you for the past. School does not even prepare you to articulate something as simple as your personhood, as your personality. And that's why we are doing this today and getting into the crux of what it really means to be successful as an individual. As I go into this, I want to let you know something very simple. Success leaves clues. What do I mean by that? There is the iron law of the universe, the law of cause and effect, right? It says that for every effect that you see, there is a direct cause that applies to it. The wealthiest and successful people in the world, they are not keeping secrets. They are constantly loud on what they are doing. But the real challenge is that most people never do the things that they say. And that's why we are bringing this to you so that you can learn and understand. It is not so much about the experiences of a man, but the determination and commitment to succeed. So if you're on this call this afternoon and you're saying, I am committed to my own success journey, I want you to type success so that I know that you are following me, very, very well. All right. So don't just be about the young person who is chasing the bag. I know young people like to say, I'm chasing the bag. I'm chasing the bag. Hey, wealth is not about pursuing things. Success is not about pursuing things. It is about becoming a person of great value. So let's delve into this very, very quickly. How do you create your own wealth roadmap? And that's what we want to get into. All right. I see you. Thank you for following so well. The first thing I like to say in creating your own wealth roadmap is find you. And I wrote here, everyone else is taken. Come on. Everyone else is taken. You need to find you. Steve Jobs says, your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. All right. Don't waste it looking at the Joneses. Don't waste it wondering and hoping that you will become successful. Actually, the best gift that you give to yourself is the gift of awareness. Why? In the last session, the speaker said something. She said, I usually would tell people, when you think about your future, what you want to accomplish and all of that, she would say, what are your values? Can you articulate your values? Can you articulate your personal mission statement? Can you articulate your life's vision? Do you know who you are? Can you articulate that simple question? Who am I? And I'm not talking about where you come from. People say, I hail from Ondo, Ondo State. I am from this place in Ekitipupa. I am Mr. and Mrs. Somebody. I have 3 children, 2 dogs and 1 cat. No, that's not what I'm asking you to tell me. I'm not asking you to tell me where you come from. Anybody can bear that name. Anybody can be Bisola Jones, right? There can be hundreds of people in the world bearing that name. So when we talk about finding you and knowing who you are, I'm not talking about the obvious things. I'm talking about the things that cannot be seen by the natural human eye, because the real pursuit of wealth is in becoming the best version of you. Oh my goodness. One of the biggest problems that really exists in the world that we live in today is that most people have never discovered themselves, and so they adopted another person's personality. Look, it is great to have people that inspire us. In fact, you must have people that inspire you to a journey of greatness and becoming who you are. But the real goal that you have is becoming the best version of you. So somebody type it on this call, say, I'm going to become the best version of me, right? Because you must design your own economy. Guess what? If you don't know you can't design your economy. I wrote it somewhere. I said, look, they have told us there's going to be war. They have told us there's going to be scarcity. They have told us there's going to be hunger. They've told us there's going to be economic downturns. I said, well, that's their business. You know what? I'm creating my own economy. And how do I create my own economy? I start by first understanding, who am I? What journey am I on? What's my vision? What do I want to accomplish? Where am I going? It is important that you know that. Strive hard to become the person you want to be. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The question is, who? 10 years from now, you will arrive somewhere. The question is, where? If you can't articulate who you are, all right, you're saying my name is, this, yada, yada, you are wasting time. If it's just general nomenclature that still defines you, you are in the 90% of the world. You are in the masses. You are with the poor. If you don't single yourself out and know who you are, you're able to clearly define who you are, all right, you wake you up from sleep and you can say, this is who I am. then you are not ready to get on that journey. So the first step is find you, all right? Vote yourself off, the island where everybody bears the same name, goes for the same jobs, works the same things, have the same vision, and then decide what you want to be or who you want to be. Awareness comes through personal development. All right, number 2 in creating your wealth roadmap is a clear vision and set specific goals. I have this quote here by Chris Grosser, and he says, opportunities don't happen, you create them. Simple, simple, simple and short, right? Life is fair. Life doesn't give you what you deserve. Life gives you what you demand out of it. So don't just wait for opportunities to happen. Actually go ahead and create them. How do you create your opportunities? You create your opportunities by having a clear vision and by setting clear, specific goals that will help you accomplish what you want to become or what you want to do. So for you to do that, you must become very serious about your goals and your personal development. Becoming wealthy does not happen by accident, all right? It doesn't happen by happenstance. It doesn't happen by prayer. It doesn't happen by laying on of hands, right? Becoming successful starts with a vision, right? Then you distill that vision into goals, actionable steps that you can take every day, every week, every year, all right? Wealthy people don't deal in generalities. Wealthy people deal in specifics, right? They know what they want, they document it, and they get to work with it. Listen, you can't hit a target you can't see. Isn't that true? You can't. Your goals must be clear and specific. Let me give an example. In one of my coaching calls, I asked a lady, okay, so what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What does success mean to you, and how do you want to be successful? And asked her those questions. She seemed quite overwhelmed. She couldn't articulate, what she wanted. And so we sat down, started to talk about her dreams, her values, all right, her skills, her vision, all right, what she really thought about her life. And gradually, a vision started to emerge for her. She realized she wanted to do ABC, start a business in manufacturing, all right, while she worked herself off her current job, all right, live in a specific neighborhood. And suddenly, the vague idea of what success meant to her became clear instantly, right? So, if you can't see it, you cannot accomplish it. We need you to see a clear vision and set specific goals. Remember, I said wealthy people don't deal in generalities, they deal in specifics. All right. Number 3. Let's move on. Number 3, get smart. All right. Someone say, I'm going to be smart, 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 smart. The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. I tell people you can lose your car, lose your house, lose your money, lose everything. They can strip you naked, take the clothes you have, even on your body, but nobody can take what you have inside of you. Wealthy people are like sponges. They are constantly learning and growing and refining their ideas and skills. They understand that in a rapidly changing world, if you are not learning, you are dying. I don't care if you are 17 or 71. Did you hear what I said? I said, if you're not learning, you are dying. It is as simple as that. So just in case you told yourself after you had your last paper, I'm not going to read any book again. You know how graduates like to say that? Oh, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with school. I'm done with reading. I'm not going to burn the midnight candle. Hey, that's the conversation of poor people. If you don't keep on reading, you don't keep on growing, you don't keep on learning, on learning and relearning, you will become extinct. Let me tell you something. All of the world's knowledge and information changes within a space of 2 to 3 years. So if you are not constantly upgrading the knowledge that you are functioning by, you will become extinct. All right. So don't joke about it. The question is, how many books have you read this year? Nothing will happen, if you don't read, if you don't improve, because we all work with the level of knowledge and information we have at our disposal. Where you are right now is equivalent to the quality of knowledge that you have, at your disposal. Where you'll be tomorrow is as a result of what you are learning or not learning today. All right. So there's no vacuum. Get smart. Start learning. All right. Take that course. Please get in the boot camp. I mean, we will overflog that issue. I'm telling you. Get in the boot camp. You never just know who you are going to become when you transform yourself with knowledge. So get in the boot camp, get enrolled, get on board, be in a company of people who, you want to be like, who are smart. All right. Number 4, take action. All right. Now see what Walt Disney says. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin to do. Oh my God, this generation always talking about what they would do and 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 what they would do. Hey, start already. If you said you would read that book, read it. It's amazing. I was studying some statistics about African young people, and it says that the average African adult reads less than a book in a year. Can you imagine, guys? Less than a book in a year. Yet, our counterparts all over the world actually read about 50 to 60 books. It is said that the successful entrepreneur reads about 50 to 60 books every year. So when you're thinking, I want to be a billionaire, remember, they are readers and they take action. Take action on all the things you are learning. Procrastination is the thief of wealth. Don't say, oh, I will do it. They have said it. Procrastination is the thief of time. Nah, procrastination is the thief of wealth. Every time you put over till tomorrow what you could have done today, you have stolen from your future what your success could have been and the wealth that you could have experienced. So tell yourself, I will not procrastinate again. I will take action, 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 action. Now, let's move on to number 5. Are you learning something? Number 5, imbibe discipline. Don't forget, we are charting a roadmap to your wealthy place, all right? Imbibe discipline. Jim Rohn, a man I love so much, says, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, all right? Define your boundaries. It is terrible when, as a young person, you don't have boundaries. That is, you don't have things that you say, I will do, I will not do, all right? I'm committed to, or I'm not committed to. Human capacity is never the problem. The real problem is usually the lack of discipline. I'll tell you today, motivation is overrated. Inspiration is overrated. Success is not about just one big gesture. Success is about doing little things consistently, day in, day out, when nobody is watching. You don't suddenly become healthy because you ate one healthy meal yesterday. You become healthy because you eat healthy meals every day. You don't suddenly build muscles and lose weight because you went to the gym once and you pumped some irons. No, your muscles become toned because you do it consistently over time. It is the consistent, repeated action done over time that produces success. Successful people don't rely on willpower. Forget that thing. Good? No, but see what they do. They build habits and create systems to keep them moving forward. So don't just say, oh, I'll do it when I feel like. Feelings are overrated. Emotions are poor leaders. Like my pastor, my mentor would say, Reverend Dotu, they are poor leaders, but they are good followers. Don't go with the feeling. Don't go with the vibe. Young people, we like the vibe. We like the feeling. You hear people say, I'm not feeling it. Hey, if you always want to feel what you're supposed to do, you will never arrive at your destination. And really, that's the conversation of poor people. Number 6, embrace failure. Are you following? Embrace failure. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. All right? I'm sure you've heard the term fail forward. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is actually part of the journey. And that's why, we need to be very intentional about how we live our lives. Intentionality is the word. It is not just saying that, oh, I don't want to fail, and that's the mentality that school gave us. School told you if you scored a particular, score, you have failed, right? School trained us to be afraid of failure. School trained us not to want to fail. But guess what? There is no success without failure. And that's why I said failure rather, is not the opposite of success. It is actually part of the journey. Do you understand? So all successful people have failed at one time or the other. You never find a man who is succeeding and has not failed. Do you agree with me? Let me see if I have my examples here. Oh, okay. So let me just read it out to you. You never find successful men who have never, ever, ever failed. All right. Let's look at Thomas Edison. He attempted over 1,000 times and failed. All right. And yet he created the light bulb. And he said, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. He didn't say that was failure. Well, Disney was told he lacked creativity. He had done numerous businesses. They had failed. All right. But he sold everything to put in the patent for Mickey Mouse. Today, he's a global phenomenon. All right. If you look at Henry Ford, all right, of the Ford Motor Company, he failed in business 5 times and went bankrupt before founding the Ford Motor Company. He could have said, oh, I failed. I'm not going to move on again. All right. Colonel Sanders, all right. KFC. How many of you love KFC fried chicken? I do. I like the Kentucky fried chicken. The what's it called? It's so sweet. It's nice. It's juicy, right? It's very crispy on the outside and nice on the inside. But guess what? This guy's chicken recipe was rejected over 1,000 times before it was accepted by a restaurant. What if he had failed? What if he had accepted that as failure rather? What if he had said, oh, I'm not going to try again. I was rejected once. I was rejected twice. I won't go further anymore. But today he has, his name is all over the world. All right. Starting at the age of 65. So there is no excuse. Albert Einstein, he lacked that guy, all the odds were stacked up against him. He, first of all, he didn't grow up in a proper home. All right, his mother was a single mom. All right, I don't think his mom could even read actually. He had learning difficulties, right? He was told that he was mentally slow, mentally retarded, but yet he went on to become one of the greatest, physicists that we have in the world, all right? One of the greatest scientists that we have in the world. So don't just say, I failed. Nothing can happen. Get up and do something. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of your journey, all right? I'm counting down my time myself. So let's move on. Number 7, value creation. Albert Einstein has this to say: try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. All right. Somebody type in the comments, I'm going to become a man of value. Let me see. Type it. I'm going to become a man of value. And this is so powerful. Successful people are always focused on value creation. All right. They are not just focused on making money. They are focused on creating value. Why? Because your income is directly proportional to the value that you bring to the marketplace. What quality of value do you have? Steve Jobs did not suddenly become, a world-renowned man because he created a phone, but because he added value to the device he created, whether as, an Apple laptop or a phone, or it started with an iPod. You didn't have to walk about with a Discman and several CDs. All right, you needed to have an iPod that can have 1,000 music, all right, or songs, all right there, and you could listen on the go. What did Steve Jobs bring? He brought value to the market. He focused on making life very easy for people. I tell women, in our business school, all right, instead of focusing on making more snacks, more dresses, more drinks, or selling whatever, all right, add more forms of value to what you already present to the marketplace. You're working a job. What kind of value do you bring? I remember when I was in my first, not my first, all right, maybe one of my employment, and my pastor told me then, go and ask your boss, all right, what would he have you do? Some of you are working jobs and you don't even know what your boss wants to accomplish. You are there working like everybody else. You're not adding value. Add value. Value creation, is a very, very important value for successful people. All right. So you for instance, you make wigs, or you make wigs, all right, revamp the wigs, dye the wigs, offer tutorials on how to style your wigs. Don't just say all we do is just make wigs, all right. Add value to what you're already doing. Number 8, and we need to move very fast and close now: accountability and mentorship. Look at this quote by George Washington. He says 99% of all failures come from people who have a habit of making excuses. Yeah, that's right. If you make excuses, you cannot be successful. Successful people know that they cannot succeed alone. That's the truth. Your environment matters. You need honest feedback. You need mentorship. You need accountability. You can be your own mirror. That's the truth. My mentor, Reverend Dotun, will say, there are no self-made men. There are only helped men. Who is helping you? Who is pushing you along on this journey? Who is keeping you accountable? Who is telling you, oh, yeah, that's great, but you need to do better. You can't just do all of that alone. All right. You have greater potentials. You have greater possibilities. All right. Do this or do that. Whose shoulder are you standing on? If you are going to make all your mistakes, you are going to learn from by yourself. Can I tell you the honest truth? You may not be alive to tell your story. All right. You may not even live long enough for us to document what you have accomplished. All right. And that's why it's important that you go the way of people who have gone ahead of you. Mentorship is very important. Without mentorship and accountability, you really don't know who you are, and you cannot achieve your fullest potentials as an individual. You know why? You cannot be your own umpire and your own coach at the same time. Come on. You're going to cut yourself some slack. And as you keep on cutting yourself some slack, you're actually weakening your will. The more your will is weakened, the more you're going to live inconsistent with your values, the more you're going to feel, not fulfilled, and you don't have the momentum, all right, or the desire and the impetus to actually pursue the things that you want to do. Now, in my final words, I have something to say to you, all right? Work hard on yourself. Poor people, wait for inspiration. Wealthy people rely on discipline. That's the honest truth. Don't wait for inspiration and motivation and all of that. Work on yourself. discipline yourself, work hard on yourself, and develop the skills that you need to develop. Work on your attitude. Stop the blame game. Come on. Don't even blame the economy. Don't blame anybody. Don't blame the government. Don't blame where you are born. Don't blame who you were born to. We didn't get to choose who we're born to or where we were born. Hey, but we get to choose, what kind of life that we actually live. So wake up and smell the coffee. You are the MD CEO of your life's corporation. Stop complaining about things that you have no control over. The truth is that, 80% of what it will take you to succeed is on your inside, is internal. The remaining 20% are external. So you can't compare the 80% to the 20%. Work hard on growing and developing yourself. Work on your philosophy. The real difference between wealthy people and poor people, or successful people and unsuccessful people, is their mindset more than their skill set. It's not the truth is, you'll find people in the same industry, doing the same business, working in the same office, I'm telling you, on the same level, but they are earning differently. Why? Somebody has grown, somebody has worked on their own philosophy, changed their mindset, while the other person has done nothing but watch the others. Don't be a bystander in life. Don't just sit, in the seat as if you are at the stadium and cheering others on. Make sure you are a player in the field. All right. Make sure you are honing your skill. Work on your communication. Don't say I'm shy. Shyness is not a fruit of the spirit. Nobody pays you money for being shy. If you can't communicate, you will miss out on many opportunities that the world has to offer you. And this is beyond temperaments. It's beyond I'm quiet. It is a skill of successful people. Learn to communicate. All right. Learn to interact with people, develop your interpersonal skills, all right? And as you do that, you find yourself growing and getting into the space that you actually want to be in. So, my dear friends, I want to tell you that if it's going to be, it's entirely up to you. You are the MD CEO of your life's corporation. You are the one that determines how far that you will go. Nobody can do that for you. And that's why you need to be in a community like this, where you'll be, nurtured, where you'll be trained. Don't assume. My mentor will say, Reverend Dotun, don't assume you know anything until you have been trained. If you have not been trained, can I announce to you, you do not know. And if all you are working with is some knowledge you learned 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you are already in the backside of life. All right. So get on this train, start learning, start growing, start developing yourself. Above all, start changing. And I can't wait to see you at the boot camp. All right. We have much more, to help you learn, unlearn, and relearn, and help you come into a space where you can actually live your authentic life. I look forward to seeing you in the boot camp. I look forward to walking you through every single process that I've spoken about today. And thank you so much to everyone who is behind the scenes making the Transition Conference such a great and big deal. I'm super excited. Thank you. It was so great to be here. God bless you all. And I'll see you in the future. I'd see you living, life on your own terms and living your ultimate dream. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor Iswa. That was amazing. Now, I want to celebrate everyone. You guys came, you saw, and you made it. Celebrate yourselves, celebrate yourselves, celebrate yourselves. I'm really excited about how far we've come. And it's as if the conference should just keep on going and going and going. And we shouldn't just stop. How many people feel like that? How many people feel like that? How many people feel like, do we really have to stop? Wow. Thank you all so much for joining us at the next conference, the Transition. And it's been an amazing, amazing, amazing 2 hours plus. And we're looking forward. There's still so much to say. I could literally feel the speakers holding back, holding back, holding back. And we just had to hold back because we don't have all the time at this conference. But you know what? If you want to be mentored, you want to be, you want to learn, you want to have deeper insight into all the things spoken today, you want to grow spiritually, you want to grow mentally, you want to grow emotionally, you want to grow in your career, you want to grow, in your finances, you want to grow in your relationship, you want to be positioned for the next level, then sign up for the boot camp. It is the privilege that we have made available for you all. Each speaker spoke their heart, and I could see there was still so much more they needed to say. And you know what? At the boot camp, you're gonna get it, unscripted. You're gonna get it full force. So sign up for the boot camp and get in the group, and we will let you know what next and when exactly we are launching. We are super excited to have had you. I want to appreciate everyone who commented, everyone who said one thing or the other. And you know what? I'm waiting for you on the other side. Thank you so much for making this conference successful. I appreciate everyone who made this possible. Everyone who invited a friend. You are a good friend. Everyone who went all out to make sure that this conference happened. I celebrate you. I celebrate all the speakers. I celebrate all the testifiers, everyone who shared their lives, shared their stories. God bless you. God bless you. And I celebrate every participant, and I thank you for making it a reality. We are concerned and we are interested in the young people. We are interested in helping young people navigate. No more casualties, no more mistakes, no more people walking in the dark and groping in the dark. We want you to be articulate. We want you to be clear. We want you to be purposeful. We want you to know exactly what to do and to go ahead and do it. I've been so blessed being a part of this conference. Even though I was a speaker, I listened into every speaker, and I was totally blown away. All right. So it's time for the next level, guys. It's time for the next level. See you at the other side of the conference, which is the boot camp. And don't forget, if you did not register officially for this boot camp, please, admin, post the registration link to the conference. Because if you don't register for the conference, you can't even get into the boot camp. Do you understand? If you don't register for the conference, maybe you just got the link to the Telegram or to the YouTube and you didn't register for the conference, please do so. Register so you can get your resources. We're going to make sure everyone who registers gets a copy or gets the whole conference training. We're going to send it to you. You're also going to get the amazing book, How to Answer the 7 Critical Questions of Life. I'm sure you kept hearing the same questions. We all kept saying the same thing over and over in different ways, right? So you need to get that. And if you're going to get the free book, the resources, you're going to get the free book, you're going to get all the trainings of this conference, right? And you also want to be a part of the boot camp. Then you need to register for the conference. That means you did not register for the conference. You only got the link into the YouTube meeting or the Telegram group. You still need to register, because that's the only way you will get the free resources. We love you. I believe in you. And I'm making a proposal, a bold, open proposal. I want to be your mentor if you are willing to follow and you are willing to have me take you by the hand and lead you into greatness. This is what I live for. This is my vision. This is my mission. I want to help young people, transit, young people navigate the uncharted courses of life so that they can stand in the center of God's plans and purpose for their lives, impacting their world, changing their generation, and becoming great forces for God. All right. If you have learned anything, you can't even afford to miss the boot camp. So see you at the boot camp. God bless you. I love you. And I'm going to just step off the stage and hand over to the announcer who will be here to take the announcements. God bless you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Mwah.
All right, thank you so much, RD, for that amazing one. Thank you so much for all that you do, ma. So we've all heard this, right? Let's register for the transition boot camp. Register, invite your friends, right? Invite your friends. Every speaker that I've spoken, they all spoke about, they all referred to the transition boot camp, meaning that you would get the full package. What you got was just an appetizer, what you got was just a teaser, to the great things that we have in store for you at the boot camp. So please register. Click on the link, don't procrastinate. Register. We guarantee you that you registering for this conference would position you for the fulfillment of your destiny. One of the things that we can assure you, one of the things that that we can assure you is that you would be set. You'll be set up. You're being set up for destiny. All right, you're being set up for the fulfillment of God's plan and purpose for you. And like I've heard everyone said, if you would get to where you ought to be, you need a community. You need a community. You need the right community, and this is the right community where you would get the right results. So click on that link today. Click on that link now. It will be posted everywhere on all our platforms. So click on it. Take action today. Take action today. You see, school cannot train you for destiny, all right? But we have a platform that can train you for destiny. So click on the link. Register for the bootcamp. And if you also didn't register for this conference, that is, you just saw the link on, perhaps you saw the link on someone's status, or someone just sent you the link, the Telegram link or the YouTube link to join in, please officially register. You would not have access to the recording of this great conference, and you would not also have access to the book, like I already said, if you did not register officially. So please click on the link to register if you did not register for the conference. Click on that link. The links are being sent on all our platforms, on YouTube, on Telegram. Click on the link and register so that you can get the freebies that we have in store for you. All right, if you did not register as well, you won't have access to the boot camp. All right, so please click on the link and register officially for the conference if you didn't register. Don't forget, you can also invite your friends. I mean, like I said before, if you have friends in your world and you're not sharing stuff like this with them, what are you doing? So please share the link to them as well. Share the bootcamp link, post it on your status, and say, my friend, let's join in together for the next 1 week. Let's grow together so that we can glow together. All right, so click on the link and we'll see you on the other side of growth. Also, I'd like to appreciate, every speaker that has taken the session today. I mean, I want us to appreciate them, just appreciate them and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe that we all learned something that we didn't know before, and you got direction. And I believe that many of us got clarity, about our relationships, about finances, about career, about our purpose. So I want to just say thank you so much. Thank you to all our speakers, and we look forward to seeing you at the boot camp. All right, you get access to the full package at the boot camp. You hear all the speakers. This time around they won't hold back. This time around there won't be any time limit per se. Right, they will dish everything out to you. So please register. So we've come to the end of the next conference. Woo-hoo! Even though I wish we would not end now, right? I mean, if you feel like that, we shouldn't end. Let's keep it going. All right, so we've come to the end of the conference. I believe that you have learned something. Like one of the speakers said, don't just be a hearer, be a doer. All right, go home with a mandate, go home with something that you're going to improve on, get intentionally, right? Go home with something you're going to improve on intentionally. I think the starting point is registering for the bootcamp. Actually, it's registering for. Make up your mind that you would register and not just attend alone. You would invite everyone in your world, and then you would participate. In all of the trainings. You'll be there from the beginning to the end because you are at a transiting phase, and you want to get it right. All right, so click on the link and register. So thank you all, and see you on the other side of growth. Woohoo! So excited, looking forward to seeing you all.
No way.